Okay, first BSc, MPC and MPCS second semester students, welcome to physics class. In the semester, the title of the physics paper is wave optics. So in this paper deals the properties of light. Already we studied in intermediate level some of the wave properties of light. Those are interference, diffraction, polarization, etc. So in this paper we will discuss a detailed explanations about these properties. Okay, so in this class we are going to discuss the first unit, that is interference. So we will discuss the definition of interference and conditions and different types of interferences and how the interference produced by a light. Okay, let me start the first class in the second semester. Interference of light. So general definition of interference means the defining characteristic of all waves is superposition, which describes the behavior of overlapping waves. The superposition principle. What is the superposition principle? We will discuss. This states that when two or more waves overlap in space, the resultant disturbance is equal to the algebraic sum of the individual disturbances. This simple underlying behavior leads to the number of effects that are collectively called interference of phenomena. So let us discuss what is superposition principle. Principle of superposition or superposition principle. So this principle states that the resultant displacement of a particle of the medium acted upon by two or more waves simultaneously. Suppose a single wave, the displacement of a particle at a certain point at any instant is like v1 in a given direction, and that another wave of displacement is y2 in the absence of the first. So according to the principle of superposition, the instantaneous resultant displacement R is equal to algebraic sum of the displacements, that is R is equal to y1 plus y2. If these two displacements are in opposite direction, then resultant displacement R is equal to y1 minus y2, because one is positive and the one is negative, because those are in opposite direction. Then R is equal to y1 minus y2 when two light waves are opposite are in opposite direction. If two waves are in the same direction, the resultant displacement of these two waves is R is equal to y1 plus y2. So when two light waves superimpose, then the resultant amplitude, that is like intensity, in the region superposition is different than the amplitude of individual waves. So this modification in the distribution of intensity in the region of superposition is called interference. So when the resultant amplitude is the sum of the amplitudes due to these waves, A1 and A2 be the different amplitudes, individual amplitudes of the waves, then the resultant amplitude is A1 plus A2. So this is the sum of the amplitudes due to these two waves is this is also interference. This is known as constructive interference. Constructive interference. So and when the resultant amplitude is equal to the difference, so A1 and A2 be the resultant different amplitudes, then resultant A1 minus A2. So the interference is called destructive interference. Destructive interference. So to understand the constructive and destructive interference perfectly by the Young's double slit experiment, already we studied in intermediate level Young's double slit experiment. So according to this experiment, a single source like this is a single source, so those are the waves of light. So when we make two slits in the path of this light beam, and these waves are enters into these two slits S1 and S2 like this, and those are superimposed in the path of this light beam at this point. Those are superimposed. When a screen is placed in the path of the light beam, we will observe bright and dark we will observe on the screen bright and dark bands. So this phenomenon is known as interference So this interference pattern consists of equally spaced bright and dark bands. Bright, dark bands on the screen. So the intensity at a point on the plane we can calculate by Young's double slit experiment. Like this is screen source, two slits are there, S1 and S2. This is a screen. Let us take a point P on the screen. This light source enters from these S1 and S2 slits and superimpose, and bright and dark bands are formed on the screen. Let me take a point P. At this point either dark or bright band. What is the condition? Is it maxima, that means bright, or minimum dark band? Okay, right. So the displacements of these two waveforms are y1 is equal to a sin omega t and y2 is equal to a sin, so a1 and a2 sin omega t. It may or may not same phase, then the phase is lambda. These two are superimposed, then y is equal to y1 plus y2. So a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t plus lambda. Then sin a plus b, sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Then y is equal to an equation sin omega t into a1. This is just introduction. So we can simplify this equation and we will get cos omega t into a2 sin delta. So where a1 plus a2 into cos delta is let me write r cos theta, and this is r sin theta. Consider where r and theta be the constants, then these two equations like a1 plus a2 into cos delta is equal to or cos theta, A2 sin delta is equal to R sin theta. If we squaring and adding these two equations, then R square cos square theta plus adding R square sin square theta, then R square is common, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. Then y is equal to, finally we will get R sin omega t plus theta. So these two equations, the above two equations are squaring and adding, then R square is equal to A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos delta. So here R square is the square of the amplitude. So this is nothing but intensity I. R square of the amplitude is nothing but intensity I. Then I is equal to R square is equal to A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos delta. Then I is equal to A be the initial amplitude. So that means initial intensity I1 plus A2 be the initial amplitude of the second wave, that can be written as I2, and 2 root over A1 means root I1 root I2, so I1 I2 cos delta. So where I is equal to A1 square and I2 is equal to A2 square. Then the phase difference between lambda between two waves is equal to 2 pi by lambda into path difference. Then the path difference is let me show, right, this is source S1 S2, we are taking a point P on the screen, this wave is moving along this line and S1 is moving like this, but these two waves are in different paths. Then the path difference is we are getting by a normal line drawn from point S1 to this 90 degrees, so that is P. Path difference is, this is path S2P minus this is path S1P, this is path reference S2P minus S1P. Then delta is equal to 2 pi by lambda into S2P minus S1P. So by using this formula, we can calculate the maximum and minimum intensities. So if S2P minus S1P is equal to lambda wavelength, that is n lambda, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on, then I maximum is equal to I1 A1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2, this implies a1 plus a2 whole square. So a1 means, this implies a1 means root i1 plus a2 means root i2 whole square. That is the maximum condition. I maximum is equal to root over a1 square i1 square plus root i2 square. And similarly, minimum condition I minimum is equal to minimum condition I minimum is equal to, again, root over i1 square minus i2 square, because delta is equal to minimum condition for delta, that is cos delta is equal to minus 1. Previous case, cos delta is equal to plus 1 for n lambda. This is minimum minus 1 for delta is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi. For 2n plus 1 into 5 values, we will get cos delta is equal to minus 1, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Then delta is equal to pi, 3 pi, 5 pi and so on. And path difference, this is phase difference. Phase difference is equal to delta 2n plus 1 into pi, and path difference delta is equal to s2p minus s1p, that is equal to 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2. So for this conditions, I minimum, that is i1 root i1 square plus i2 root i1 minus root i2 whole square. This is a simple condition for minima and maxima. You can remember these equations for every time, that is delta is equal to 2n plus 1 into pi for minima, and path is 2n plus 1 into lambda by 2 for minima, and maxima lambda is equal to 2n pi, and path reference is equal to n lambda. So those are the conditions, minimum and maximum conditions. Right, next topic is coherent source. Coherent source. So we are taking two sources, we are making two sources by a single source, so that is S1 and S2. So on the screen we can observe bright and dark bands. So depends on the phase and the path difference between these two sources. So the wave starting from S1 and S2 in same phase, that means delta is equal to phase equal to 0. In this case, all dots on the screen will be bright while dashes will be dark at all times. So we get a stationary interference pattern on the screen. What is the condition here? There is no phase difference, that is phase difference delta is equal to 0. So the waves starting from S1 and S2 differ in phase by pi phase difference. In this case, all the dots on the screen will dark and the dashes will be bright at all time. So we again get a stationary interference pattern on the screen. So the waves starting from S1 and S2 differ in any constant phase, not only pi, any constant phase. In this case we can also observe a stationary interference pattern, but the points of bright intensity and dark intensity changed, depends on the constant phase. So but the waves are starting from S1 and S2 differ in phase, different phase. The phase is difference, not constant, which is changing or random with time. So in this case the interference pattern will also change the position at random with respect to time. So there is no interference pattern is observed, that is interference pattern is not sustained. So there will be no interference pattern. Okay, so ఏమైనా అర్థమైందా? వచ్చేద్దాం పాయింట్కి వచ్చేద్దాం. సో వాట్ ఈజ్ నోన్ యాజ్ కోహరెంట్ సోర్స్. ఇంతకుముందు మనం యంగ్స్ డబుల్ స్లిట్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చూసాం. సో యంగ్స్ డబుల్ స్లిట్ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ నుంచి 2 సోర్సెస్ కావాలి కాబట్టి ఒక సింగిల్ సోర్స్ తీసుకుని, సో దిస్ ఈజ్ ఎ సింగిల్ సోర్స్. సో యూ ఆర్ మేకింగ్ 2 స్లిట్స్ అలాంగ్ దిస్ పాత్. ఈ పాత్లో 2 సోర్సెస్ మనం తయారు చేసుకుని S1 S2 2 slits. So waves are coming from that slits. ఇలాగ waves బయటకు వచ్చినాయి. One is crust and another one is trough, crust, trough, crust, trough and so on. సో ఎప్పుడైతే వేవ్స్ అలా బయటకు రిలీజ్ అయినాయో వాటి నుంచి ఒక ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ స్క్రీన్ మీద ఫామ్ అయిందని చెప్పుకున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు S1 S2 కనుక సేమ్ ఫేజ్ అయితే, లేదా ఫేజ్ డిఫరెన్స్ లేదు, ఫేజ్ డిఫరెన్స్ లేనప్పుడు మీకు స్క్రీన్ మీద బ్రైట్ డార్క్, లైన్ బ్రైట్ అవ్వచ్చు, లేదా లైన్ బ్రైట్ తీసుకుంటే డార్క్ బ్రైట్ డార్క్ రేంజెస్ అనేవి కనిపించినాయి. అలా కాకుండా S1 S2 అంటే S1 నుంచి వేవ్ స్టార్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత 180 degrees మళ్ళీ S2 స్టార్ట్ అయితే then the phase difference is pi 180 degrees. Again we can observe on the screen interference pattern. అప్పుడు కూడా మీరు ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ని స్టడీ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఇక్కడ ఫేజ్ పై కాబట్టి ఇంతకుముందు బ్రైట్ ఉన్న చోట డార్క్ వస్తుంది, ఇంతకుముందు డార్క్ ఉన్న చోట ఇప్పుడు బ్రైట్ వస్తుంది. సో అలా కాకుండా కాన్స్టెంట్ ఫేజ్ ఉంది, ఫేజ్ చేంజ్ అవ్వలేదు, నాట్ ఓన్లీ పై ఆర్ నాట్ ఓన్లీ 0. కాన్స్టెంట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు కూడా మీకు స్క్రీన్ మీద వీ కెన్ అబ్జర్వ్ ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్. సో అలా కాకుండా ఇఫ్ ద ఫేజ్ ఈజ్ డిఫర్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు టైం, టైంతో పాటు ఫేజ్ మారిపోతుంది అనుకోండి స్క్రీన్ మీద, ఆ సోర్సెస్ మీద, అప్పుడు సో దర్ ఈజ్ నో సస్టైన్డ్ ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఆన్ ది స్క్రీన్. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ ఫామ్ అవ్వాలి అంటే ద సోర్స్ మస్ట్ బి ఎయిదర్ ఫేజ్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఈజ్ 0 or phase difference is constant. That is the condition. So that is the one of the condition, that is most important condition is coherent source. So to obtain an interference pattern ద సోర్స్ మస్ట్ బి కోహరెంట్. మీకు ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్ కావాలి అంటే సోర్స్ ఎలా ఉండాలి? మస్ట్ బి కోహరెంట్. కోహరెంట్ సోర్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడే వీ కెన్ అబ్జర్వ్ ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్. దట్ మీన్స్ ద టూ సోర్సెస్ విచ్ మెయింటైన్ జీరో ఆర్ ఎనీ కాన్స్టెంట్ ఫేజ్. ఒక జీరో కానీ లేకపోతే రెండింటి మధ్య ఏదైనా ఒక కాన్స్టెంట్ ఫేజ్ ఉన్నట్లయితే యూ కెన్ అబ్జర్వ్ ఇంటర్ఫీరెన్స్ ప్యాటర్న్. దట్ సోర్సెస్ ఆర్ నోన్ యాజ్ కోహరెంట్ sources. Okay, so then we can discuss the conditions for interference. Conditions for interference. So to obtain a permanent or stationary interference pattern, so conditions for sustained interference, conditions for observation of fringes, sustained interference, observation of the fringes, and condition for the contrast between maxima and maxima bright and minima dark. The first one is conditions for sustained interference. So the two sources should be coherent. So that means they should be vibrate in same phase or constant phase, already just discussed. So in order to obtain a stationary interference pattern, at any point should be constant with time, then I is equal to, what is the I1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos delta. Okay, so the two sources must emit continuous waves of the same wavelength at time period. Same wavelength, that is monochromatic. Same wavelength means monochromatic. So but if the sources do not emit light at the same period, the intensity at any time any point will be alternately maxima and minima. That is sustained condition for sustained interference. One is must be coherent, another one is the two sources must emit continuous waves of same wavelength. Next one is condition for observation of fringes. The separation between the two sources, that is those are two sources. The distance between the two sources is 2d, which is a screen. The distance between the source to the screen is capital D. So condition for observation, the separation between these two sources 2d should be small. So when the separation between these two sources is small, the fringe width d lambda by 2d, fringe width is large, d lambda by 2d is large, then so if we can observe the fringes on the screen, fringe width means gap between two fringes, like this is a minima, bright dark, bright dark, bright dark. The distance between these two successive bright or dark. So if the distance between these two sources 2D is small, then d lambda is large. So this value is large, that is beta. We can observe easily on the screen whether is it bright or is it dark. So second one is this is a screen. The background should be dark. The background of the screen must be dark to observe interference pattern. So next one is condition for good contrast. So for this condition, the source must be narrow. This is a pin source, this must be narrow, so they must be extremely small. So if the source is not narrow, then the interference between waves from different parts of the same source will take place and contrast will be poor. The contrast will be poor when the source are not narrow. So second one is the source should be monochromatic, means a single wave. If the monochromatic source is not a single wavelength, so which has different wavelengths, then each one color will produce a own interference pattern, and these different sets of fringes due to the different colors will overlap and each other, so the net effect would be white light. Then you cannot observe the interference pattern on the screen. That is the condition for those are the conditions for interference pattern. Okay, thank you.